everyone. Welcome back to Sunny Silver Linings. Todd Billier has always got Sunny Kaila with us, and the man who does not need an introduction. With over 20 years in the channel, I'm pretty sure everybody knows him. Mr. Rob Ray, thank you for joining us today, sir.
Thanks for having me, Todd. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Sunny.
So as always, Rob, we like to talk about type of things that MSP business owners can take for action today, and especially around innovation. Ton of innovation, the speed of innovation. Certainly, this is middle of June 2020. We're just getting over the COVID or starting recovery of COVID. Can you talk to me? We talked a little bit during the prep about the whole work from anywhere, how MSP business owners have to think about that when it comes to servicing their end users.
Yeah, absolutely. Super happy to do that. By the way, I love the concept, Sunny's silver linings. We all need the silver linings today, that is for sure. So I love the concept and what you guys are doing out there. So thank you for that. So the whole, obviously one of the biggest questions we get, and I'm getting these days, is how do we sell? How do we continue to engage our end users? And what are some of the things that are working? And I'm very fortunate that we have more than 20,000 MSPs around the world that are consuming a Datto product in one way or another. I'm fortunate that I have the ability to see who's growing and who's not. So basically took a step back and rather than, just myself trying to come up with the idea on how do we continue to sell and innovate and change and what's the future of MSP, I got the opportunity to go and actually talk to MSPs, went and found the guys that are growing fast, selling more product, and just called them out and said, what are you guys doing? Okay. And I think it comes down to a couple of different things. I think one of these silver linings is certainly the fact that the channel has become a more integral part of the end user experience, and not just talking about technology, but talking about how they utilize technology, and the idea that COVID has changed everything on the way in which we physically work. So we're all in offices 3 months ago, and it was pretty common practice that you would be in an office. Remote employees was a thing, but it was a thing for different reasons than it is today. Now, all of a sudden, everybody's at home practically overnight, 99 days ago. And everybody's now working from home. And now, as we see, and again, I've got the luxury as well of having and working in international markets in places like Australia, where COVID is basically under control. New Zealand, where it's non-existent, Germany, where things are opening back up again. So when we're looking at even what is happening in those markets and try to translate it back to what potentially could happen here in the North American market or the European market, this is where we can actually start having intelligent conversations. But the whole idea of what we want for the MSP is be prepared for anything, because there's a bunch of people that are saying we're not going to return back to the office. But then you start looking at a 3-year lease that you still have on brick and mortar somewhere. There's some that are saying we're going to do both, a combination of work from home and go to the office. There's others that are saying it's not even just working from home or working from the office. It's the ability to work from anywhere. And I know you guys, along with myself, like I have a beautiful office in my home, and I'm super happy to be here, but I have never stayed in one place for 99 days. I got to get up and go out. I got to go and do something. So, and you hear about people that are renting places, or, they have cottages or other homes or something along those lines. The ability to be able to work from there or work from anywhere. The ability to say, you know what, we're going to go down to the beach today, but I still need to stay plugged in. The ability to say, I'm going to work outside as the weather's improved. I want to go work outside versus working in my physical office. Like, the MSP and the channel is better prepared to make sure that everybody is there, both from a technical perspective, a security perspective, a speed perspective. And that's kind of the idea, that kind of whole, the value of what the MSP is delivering, those services around each of those different aspects has become more important than ever before. More important means more value means more money. That, in my mind, is kind of where some of the future thinking we need to be is.
Absolutely. Sonny, have you heard from our the ITBI design, the traditional MSP? Are you seeing those same type of requests from your clients?
Absolutely, Todd. What we see from our partners, the need to work from anywhere. And when we were discussing prior to this call about Starbucks, so if there is a way for everyone to go to Starbucks and work from Starbucks, the technology that they have, it just works. You plug in from home office, from a Starbucks location, or from office. how can we make it safe, secure, easy for people to work remotely from anywhere? That is what we are seeing in the market.
Absolutely. Rob, let's make a quick pivot to security. Obviously, security is a big issue today. What have you seen as far as your partners, how they're changing up their security offerings?
I don't think it's so much changing up the security offering, but continuing to make sure that security is top of mind. And we spent a ton of time, like even myself, I foregoed some keynote presentations in an effort to turn around and turn those keynotes into more public service announcements to say, look, the MSP channel is under attack. And we saw this, right? MSPs getting attacked because rather than the bad guys just attacking individual end users, why not go to an MSP and get access to many end users? We continue to see those attacks. Now, at the beginning of all this, when we were all transitioning and scrambling and helping our end users get to the work from home or work away from the office or away from each other position, the hackers were doing the same thing. We actually saw a significant decrease in the number of hacks that were happening during that time because, of course, even the hackers needed to go and find places to actually work. But then immediately they went up. Not only did they go up back to the normal levels, they went up an additional 70%. When I'm talking about malware and ransomware specifically. And the reason why they went up is because they realized that the vulnerability is less. We all had to leave the big stronghold of the castle and turn into the little huts. And then all of a sudden realize that the huts aren't as set up defensively as the castle is. So here's their opportunity to attack. So I think it's going back to, and it's one of those conversations where big conversation for MSPs. And I'll reference back where I mentioned before where some MSPs are seeing growth, having a security conversation with prospects, simple questions like what's keeping you up at night around security? And what you're finding is a lot of end users will go, well, I'm at home. This is a network that I set up or my cable company set up or somebody else set up. It's probably consumer grade equipment. It's on, who knows, right? So this is where those conversations, the MSPs are winning in those conversations to say, maybe we need to take a look at it. One of the things that we've got is a security checklist, and it is one of the most popular things by far that our partners are using right now in order to start that conversation with the end users. Have you thought about these 35 things when we're talking about security? It was tough before when we were in an office and controlled everything. It's even tougher now when we're all walking around mobile.
Excellent. Sonny, what are you hearing from your MSP pairs as far as the security issue and people shifting to that work from home? And now they're going to be split. Some are going to be back in the office and some are going to be home. What are you hearing from your pairs?
Yeah, it's very challenging when you have everyone working remotely, working from home. Keeping that compliance in check, making sure that because number of entry points have gone up. Mm-hmm. So if you have, we have 500 plus employees. Now they're working from home. So rather than having one entry point from the office or 3 locations that we have, so it has gone up from 3 entry points to 500 plus entry points. And how do you make sure that you pivot in terms of your security posture, in terms of, how can you make it easier as well? Because there is a struggle between keeping things secure and also keeping things simple and faster, better, cheaper. So that's a struggle. That's a balance that we have to keep. So because of the landscape changing, we need to reassess our security offerings and innovate there.
I think there's a looking at what we're offering, but there's also a better story that can be told now than there was before. So as much as a review of what you're doing has also turned into a good opportunity for more sales as a result. So I think it's a wonderful silver lining.
Excellent. Well, let's, we like to keep these short, sweet, and to the point. Rob, I certainly appreciate your time today, and hopefully we'll see you out on the road, and that number 99 won't get too much higher before you and I are
soon, my friend,
hosting a cup of coffee, my friend. And thank you for your time today.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Todd.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And we hope you'll click over there and watch another episode or two of Sunny Silver Linings, and we'll see you in the next episode.